beautiful.
You know?
And she's a great, great person.
Thank you.
What's your name?
I'm Jen.
Jen. Okay, so why do you think like a lot of people come to the cafe?
I think one of the main reasons people's apartments are so small in New York that they just, they come here because they can't move inside their own place. So I think that's it.
But I think coffee shops, they're like that third space that you can go to. You've got home, you've got work, you need a third place to be stable. So coffee shops just give the ambience that you're welcome, you feel it's like a family, and you meet people. Just a great place to be.
First of all, I have a theory that in a cafe, they're not really selling coffee. What they're doing is they're selling or renting space. It's space and time. So when you come in and you order coffee for whatever you pay for it, you're basically renting that table to be able to sit with a friend and discuss either personal things or sports or the world, politics. But not a lot of people really come for the coffee. Revolutions were created in cafes. A lot of things have happened, a lot of politics, a lot of laws, a lot of people have been affected in their lives through decisions made sitting at a cafe. God knows how many things have happened.
They would meet in certain places, and other people would even go. They'd have cafes on each corner with certain groups that would be connected to it. And the machines were so fantastic.
Oh, if you see the machines, yeah, they're like locomotives.
That, right.
They have valves and switches and big dials and stuff, yeah.
That's why there were these people like the baristas.
The real baristas, not
Right
the
now
people
is-
that work in Starbucks who are 18 years old and think they're a barista. A real baristas has to have a background, understand how the machine works and how pressure works and steam and hot water and how to pack the coffee, because these are all elements. How if you pack the coffee too tight, you put too much coffee in, the water will not flow through it. If you pack it too loose, depending on the humidity, how much water is in the air, they grind the coffee accordingly.
I think New York will totally collapse if there was no coffee.
Yes.
I mean, it would collapse in like one day.
It's the fuel.
Yeah.
It runs the engine, yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I'm also very interested in about the cafes. Is that when you get in a place, it's like, wow, this is new. But when you spend like a few hours there, then everything is changed.
Yeah,
and
of
you are
course.
in control, and the people who get in there, they're like, ooh.
They had a new one that came in, yeah.
It's very difficult to say anything, but I think it's good to talk about it, especially in places like this. I know.
The statement I would make is that the coffee houses bring back the old era. It's the closest thing to keep a connection of the old days. As the cafes are the basic to keep a village. People come and they meet each other every day, 3 times a week, 2 times a week. That's what makes a village. You see people every week, every day.
So it's like a little tribe, and when a stranger comes in, when somebody new comes in, they always get that little bit of a, who is that? Yeah, check him out, who is that guy? And then if he comes in a couple of times, then he becomes part of the tribe. So maybe this is one of the few anchors left.
Right.
If this place goes, I lose a good deal of my roots, of my identity here. Because where am I going to go? I'm not going to sit in a McDonald's. This place closes, I have to leave then.
Yeah.
Is the volume okay or?
Can you shout?
No.
Is it forbidden in Japan?
I think I shouldn't in a cafe. Yeah.
Just once.
Sure.
I'll shout. Okay.
Like,
Point it to me.
I think.
Yeah. No, nobody's even looking. Yeah, for example, like a few days ago, I was like sitting in another cafe, and there was a producer from LA and a scriptwriter from New York. And I remember the producer from LA saying that he liked the cafes in New York because in New York and in LA, you get isolated, he said. But in LA, you get isolated alone at home. And in New York, you get isolated in a cafe with a lot of people. So you get isolated, but with other people.
I actually don't really like this culture to like buy service, like paying cheap and buy service. I mean, in Japan, customers are like guests. We just treat customer as guests.
You see, like in this place, the tables are very, very close to each other. It's like New York.
Yeah.
There's so little space that they have to put the buildings together, the tables together.
And different people and culture together in this kind of small place.
This cup here is from 9th Street Espresso, which is considered to be the best coffee in New York, but I didn't put in the image of me drinking it because it looked a bit stupid. And may I also apologize now to Saori, the lovely Japanese girl who helped me to discreetly shoot around the cafes, and explain to me lots of interesting things about her country. I'm sorry, Saori. I hope you don't mind me using your image. So, whatever. This is me once again trying to draw with coffee as Modigliani used to do, you know, as a way of getting inspiration from a small thing that works as an inciting incident. Anyway, I don't have time to finish this thought, and I'm actually not sure if it was Modigliani or Schiele or Klimt that did the thing with the coffee.
You bean busters. It's okay. It's a project, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Anyway, this right here used to be the kettle of fish.
This was a very good service to society because it was open always.
Yes, it was open 24 hours.
So where am I gonna be if one night I want to sleep somewhere but I don't have money and I
To
can?
my house.
You can.
I'm sorry, it's cool.
So the thing is that because people just like came here or sit with the computer and they didn't
Oh yeah,
drink.
they sit here with computers and they maybe buy a cup of coffee and they stay there for hours. How are they going to make any money for themselves? That's why it's gone.
That's interesting. I'm thinking, do you shave your eyebrows? Because that's something that I'm very interested in because you know Dali, the painter.
Who?
Dali, the painter.
Yes.
He was from where I come from.
Yes, of course.
And he said that when you have like long hairs in your eyebrows or when you have long mustache like he did, it's like some kind of attractor of ideas. Because the ideas are flowing and then they come to your mustache or your eyebrows. Anyway, that's not very
maybe
important.
yes, maybe no, who knows? Yeah.
And
That would be a weird ending, wouldn't it? But it isn't, because I have an image that seems to be perfect as the last bit of nonsense.
It's one thing or another, you know, and there it is. No more, no less. Are you done?
yeah.
Okay.
I think that ending is actually too normal. It looks like a real ending, too conventional. So here, ladies and gentlemen, we have the culmination of this work.
And more, I mean, roughly that's what, basically that's what, well, you know.
Yeah, that's it.